It is Wednesday morning, September 7th, 2022. It's about 7 in the morning. And I wanted to do a quick pasture walk here. So for this row, let me just kind of show you if you can see the wires. We're going to go until Thursday morning, and then the Thursday afternoon move, it's going to be a new row. And I haven't quite decided how much width on the new row we're going to give them, whether it's set up for a 6-week rotation or a 12-week rotation or something in between. But I wanted to go through this pasture, kind of show you what it looks like. I think I'm also showing myself in the future, because in the drought it was nice to see pictures of grass. But remember, we are fresh out of a drought, and technically we haven't had rain for a real good rain since that Monday. So we're looking at 3 weeks of no real rain. We've had like a quarter inch here and there, which I'm sure some people in the United States would be very pleased to have, but here the ground is starting to firm up again. It's starting to get hard, which is not good. Anyway, so I wanted to show you what I see here. So you can see this tall grass here. I think that's a type of Indian grass. I'm not sure. Okay. And my understanding of Indian grass is that it leaves behind a woody stalk that you basically have to burn. You have to shred it or burn it because the cows can't eat it. In the young tender stage like this, they can. The other species of grass that I'm seeing is this kind of broadleaf. I think this is Dallas grass. I'm not sure. But I see tons of this everywhere. Yesterday, I saw an example that was like super tall. It was probably 2 feet tall, just kind of growing by itself in the middle of nowhere. And then this is that warm season grass that we have at the western part of my row. This is the stuff that grows thick rather than grows up. Again, I don't know if it's bermuda or bahia or whatever it is, but it's definitely a warm season grass. It only shows up in the warm season. Oh, what is this? All right, guys. This is hope. This is a future here. This is a clover. I don't know what type of clover it is. It could be crimson clover or white clover or something else. The reason why clovers are important for a pasture is, number one, it shows that your soil is not too acidic. Clovers do not like to grow in acidic soil. But number two, clovers are known as a legume, and legumes fix nitrogen into the soil. The plant itself doesn't do it, but the way the plant grows and the things that it encourages it to grow with do. So this is encouraging, because I do need clovers to help put nitrogen in the soil. Just like every other plant, though, the nitrogen is bound up in the plant when it's growing. And if there's plenty of nitrogen in the soil, it doesn't really add anything to it. But if you want to, you have to remember that the nitrogen appears in the plant itself. It's part of the proteins and things like that. So when you have a field full of grass or whatever, the nitrogen could all be in your crop and not in the soil at all. So legumes are nice because they put nitrogen in the soil after their life cycle is done. This is goatweed. We have lots of goatweed around here. And you can kind of see that it looks like it's all goatweed. And the goatweed, I'm finding, does not do well next to the pond. I'm thinking that if the roots are wet, they have a hard time. Or something. I don't know exactly. But last year we mowed down our field, which was full of goatweed like this. I want to say mid-September, so we're in early September, so I'm thinking we'll do the same here. The only issue I see is that with this tall grass now, like here's another example of that. I'm calling it Indian grass. I don't know what it is. If you know, you can tell me. I'll probably do some more research and find out. But we'll be cutting that down as well. So another species of plant that I'm seeing is this right here, which I don't know what this is or if you can even see it. It has like these tiny blue flowers. It has these strange leaves. And I want to call it a weed, but not all weeds are bad. Not all things that aren't grass are bad. Here's another species of grass that I see a little bit of. I have no idea what this is, but it almost looks like a baby's breath. you know. And here's another example of what I'm calling Dallas grass. I don't think this is Dallas grass though. Okay. Let's see, what else do I, oh, this broadleaf grass here. This is different than the Dallas grass. This almost looks like St. Augustine. It seems to grow wide rather than up. It seems to spread out, which is good. There's some more clover hiding down there. So I'm extremely encouraged by what I'm seeing in this pasture. Oh, there's these things too. I'm not exactly sure what this is. You know, if I were in the Pacific Northwest, I'd call that a rhododendron. But I know that these grow up and they have like these teardrop shaped like flower buds. But I don't know what they do. Or here's another example of that. Anyway, I don't know what it is. But it looks like they don't survive the cows. The cows eat it, or they do something to it, unlike the goatweed. So yeah, oh, here's a bunch of this Indian grass stuff. Yeah, so this pasture is not as good as the western part of the pasture, but I think there's plenty to eat here. And I think the cows will do just fine. And they can always go back and back graze the western part of the pasture, which they didn't barely even touched. And that's kind of my report on what this pasture looks like at this time of year. If it doesn't rain, the soil is going to harden up, and I think the grass will stop growing. And in a couple weeks, I'm going to hit a part of my field where not much is growing at all. It looks pretty much like this, but worse. And I'm concerned if I don't get rain that nothing's going to grow there. But, you know, I'm not the guy who controls the rain around here, and I don't know how plants grow. So hopefully somebody knows what they're doing with the timing of the rain and everything. This is actually like the third calf that I've had on my property. It's a nice heifer. Apparently you can tell because the butt's higher, or the way the butt's shaped. I think this is also a heifer. No, this is a bull, right? Or a steer. Nope, that's a heifer. Number 11's a heifer. Anyway, I don't know what they're fighting over there. What are they doing? Sometimes I've seen them like rub each other. I've even seen, and this sounds kind of weird, I've even seen like cows nursing off of another cow. And I don't know what that's about or why they do it, but you know, they do some weird things sometimes. They do like to stay close together. They don't like to spread out. They only spread out if they feel super comfortable. All right, so that's kind of my pasture walk this morning. I'm thinking of doing these every day, every morning and evening, so you can see what I see. I don't know that this is going to be any use to anybody. I'm not an expert in what I'm doing. I'm just following advice that I've been given, and I'm trying my best. I don't know that I'm doing any better than anybody else around here. I'm certainly not doing what all of my neighbors are doing. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take care and bye-bye.